Hey viewers, Armchair here. In this video, we're going to be checking out the Ny'alotha Allseer. What a terrifying creature this is, my goodness. From those jellyfish tentacles underneath, flowing ever creepily, my goodness, with those spiked metal bangles to those eyes. My goodness, look at those eyes. They stare at you from every single direction. Wow. And those leather straps holding this crazy spiked metal saddle on there. Spectacular. All right, so in order to get your hands on your very own Ny'alotha Allseer, what you're going to want to do is come to either the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, which this week is hosting the Black Empire Assault, as we can see here. And the raid entrance is right here above White Petal Lake. Now you want to make sure that you're in the right phase, meaning the Battle for Azeroth phase of the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, as opposed to the Mists of Pandaria phase. You can check that out by talking to Zadormi here above the Mogushan Palace dungeon entrance. Now, in order to see Zadormi, you're going to want to head to your Battle for Azeroth faction capital, meaning either Zul'Dazar for the Horde or Borealis for the Alliance. Specifically, you want to head to wherever your command map is. For Borealis, it's near the boat in the little building there with, I believe it's the NPC named Cyrus. There'll be a sealed scroll sitting on the table waiting for you. Make sure you have your Heart of Azeroth, or you will not be able to see the sealed scroll sitting on the table. For the Horde, it is the Forsaken boat in the harbor. Your command map is on the boat. If, however, you come to Vale of Eternal Blossoms and you don't see this Black Empire Assault bubble, it's because the raid entrance changes locations every week. The other location is Uldum in Kalimdor. You can see that currently this zone is not hosting the Black Empire Assault. Instead, it is the Amethet Advance for another 7 hours. It changes assaults every 3 days, but the Black Empire Assault is the full 7 days in a certain zone, meaning Uldum or the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. If the raid and the Black Empire Assault are in Uldum, then the raid entrance will be right here above the Vrinal Dam. Again, talk to Zadormi here to make sure you're in the Battle for Azeroth version of the zone, as opposed to the Cataclysm version, which will not show you the Black Empire Assault or the entrance to Ny'alotha, the Waking City, which is the raid in question. If we open the adventure guide, it's Battle for Azeroth content in the drop-down, and we want to make sure we're on Mythic difficulty, because if we head down to N'Zoth the Corruptor, the final boss, which drops the Ny'alotha Allseer, we can click on Loot and see there it is, the Ny'alotha Allseer mount under the Mythic Loot table. If we were to change this to Heroic or Normal or Raid Finder, you would see that the mount does not appear. So it is only a Mythic drop. Personally, it took me 67 kills in order to get the mount to drop for me. It is a 1% drop chance mount. I was farming with 20 characters at the peak there, so about 3.5 weeks of dedicated farming. You definitely might get luckier than me. You might get it on your first drop. That would be awesome. Or it may take as many as 250 kills to reach that 95th percentile of having obtained the mount. All right, so let's head in and I'll show you a couple of the fights that you might get stuck on. The first boss, Rathian the Black Emperor, you just want to kind of walk up to him and then run away in order to start the fight. He'll do a little dialogue and then he'll become attackable in dragon form. With Rathian down, you now can go either left or right. If you do not have the skip like I do, you will have to, of course, kill every boss in this instance in order to progress to N'alotha. Once you've slain both Ma'ut and the prophet Skitra, you want to head over to this middle pathway here and up this way to an elevator. Make sure you don't get crushed by the elevator. It can kill you. And make sure you jump when you get on the elevator, or you might experience a bug where you fly through the elevator and fall to your death. Once you're past the elevator boss, you want to head over to this large rune-etched door, right-click on it. There will be a short breaking the seal animation, and then the door will open for you. Once you've successfully killed the 2 bosses in this area, the 2 bosses in this area, and the 3 bosses down the Maw of Gorma, you want to head over to this central walkway here. You do have to kill all of the trash on this walkway in order for the portal to become active. As you can see, we've killed all of the trash on this walkway and the portal has become activated. Simply push your character through to go through. Now, once you get here, you want to talk to Rathian to start the next encounter. Very important, if this is your first time in here on Mythic difficulty, you want to again talk to Rathian and grab the Ny'alotha Mother's Guidance. This is the skip quest. Okay, so the Fury of N'alotha is activated. What you want to do is bring him to 50% health, and then he'll transition to phase 2, where he runs into this cave of creepy teeth, and then I'll tell you what to do there. As you can see, he is not killable in phase 1, sadly. You do have to progress through the creepy cave of teeth. Your goal is to beat all of the synthesis growths on both sides of the cave. See, there's some over here too. Once you've done that, the boss will transition into phase 3. Once you've beaten all of the growths, you want to hurry yourself along, because if you wait too long, this mouth right here will close and the fight will fail. Okay, so you've arrived at N'alotha the Corruptor. What you want to do to help yourself out is come over to this space between these 8 teeth. You want to stand here and wait for the fight to start. If you're standing here between these teeth, there will be an iris of sorts that will open. You want to kill a NPC named Psychus. Once Psychus is down, sometimes you have to click on your body to escape the mind realm. Sometimes it auto-clicks for you. Once you've escaped the mind realm, N'alotha will be attackable until about 60% health. Do yourself a favor and bring him to that threshold. Also, you may notice this purple swirling vortex around your screen. That is your sanity draining. Once your sanity drains completely, you gain the gift of N'alotha. It says becomes a servant of N'alotha. That is no longer the case if you're soloing. Previously, you needed to have your Heart of Azeroth equipped along with a special cloak made by Rathian. Neither of those are required anymore. See, there we did have to click our body that time. And now N'alotha is activated. We bring him under 60% and the Psychic Shell goes back up. What you want to do from here is head over to the exact other side of the room, again between the 8 teeth, and wait for the iris to open once again. In the first version of the iris, you may have noticed fire pools on the ground. You want to dodge those. They do fear you. In the second phase of the Mind Realm, there is no fear fire, so feel free to just stand still. And again, kill Psychus. Here we go. The iris is opening again. Yes, we did have to click it both times. Interesting. N'alotha is once again active. You want to damage him to, I believe it's, 40%-ish. The shield will drop again, and you need to lower him under 25%. Once you've done that, head over to this side of the room. We were over there. Now we're over here. What we're waiting for is a gateway to appear. There's the gateway. Click on it. There's a Void Spawn Annihilator attacking. Kill him. The gate will appear once again. Right-click on it again. You'll be sent back through to the N'alotha encounter. His shield is now gone forever, and you can kill him and finish him off. Once he reaches 1% health, or something around that, you'll be transported to the Chamber of Heart, and your treasure will be waiting for you. The exit to leave is here. Also, Rathian is right here if you want to hand in your skip quest. And just like that, you too might walk away from Ny'alotha, the Waking City, with your very own Ny'alotha Allseer. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it.